Before we get going, I would like to acknowledge two of our sponsors this evening, Horace Height of the Horace Height Estates, a residential community located in Sherman Oaks, the place you come home to, and Gaspar Insurance for all of your insurance needs with offices right here in Woodland Hills Warner Center. If we can have a bit of applause for those two folks. They're making it possible for us to videotape and bring this to the rest of the community. I'm going to ask one last question, and then we're going to wrap it up with you folks giving us a 30-second pitch as to why people should vote for you. How long have each one of you lived here in the San Fernando Valley, and if you can describe what separates you from somebody else? You'll have an opportunity to have a closing statement. How long have you lived in the district? Tell us why, what you've been doing here since you've been part of the West Valley community. Anchor?
So I was born in the district, grew up LAUSD schools in the district, have volunteered at Northridge Hospital. I spent a lot of time working with different activists and organizations in the Valley. So in terms of the commitment that I've had to the Valley and the district, and it's just tremendous, lived here. And for the last 2.5 years, working for the school board member in LAUSD, it's helped me see that schools are the center of the community, and we can start and build from there. The public schools in the center of the community.
Tricia?
My parents brought us here 39 years ago, and I've lived in the district for the last 30 years in many of the communities that are represented there. I've worked for Councilmember Bob Blumenfield for 2.5 years as his economic development deputy, worked with the community, many of you who are here, August, Heath, Dennis, Scott, worked with many of you on that plan, which was to make sure that there was work jobs balance in the Warner Center area and that it continued to function as our regional center. I've worked with Councilmember Blumenfield on the plans for Reseda and Sherman Way, on Sherman Way between Reseda and Canoga Park, to make sure that we revitalize those communities, both through working on the Madrid Theater to make sure that it had outward-facing cultural programming that was representative of the community, as well as working with the council member to bring a ice and roller skating rink with the Kings to the Reseda community, which just got approved on Friday, and the Reseda Theater, which we're working with Lemley on. I'm wrapping it up.
Thank you very much. Jesse?
Yeah, so I grew up just outside of the district in a little community called Oak Park with the Jacobys over there, but spent a lot of my youth in and around here. Took classes at Pierce College. Actually decided that I wanted to become a lawyer from a constitutional law class that I took at Pierce that exposed me to some of the great decisions of the Warren Court, Brown v. Board, and other things like that. Live in Encino with my wife, Rachel, and think that I could be an effective representative for this community because I've had experience in politics, in a legislative environment, in government, and also in law, and I think that combination hopefully will allow me to be a really effective representative for the West Valley.
Thank you. Justin?
I've lived in this area for the vast majority of my life, and I had the luxury of growing up in a neighborhood where our neighbors actually talked and interacted with each other. And that taught me very early on that the value of humanity in general, because when they hurt, I hurt. Your neighbors, your friends, your family. And this state, I feel like our legislature just hasn't been doing enough to combat the state's problems, or in some cases is responsible for those problems. So I felt encouraged to run for those reasons, is because when one of us feels pain in this community, all of us do.
Thank you. Daniel?
I've been on the board of the West Hills Neighborhood Council for 15 of the 26 years I've lived here. I've had the honor of serving as its president for the last 6 years. And in that time, I've developed a deep understanding of the issues that concern the people of the West San Fernando Valley, and I'm one of us.
Thank you. And Jeff?
In the 1980s, I was on Tom Bradley's Mayor Advisory Committee for Transportation for the San Fernando Valley. In 2003, I was knocking on doors trying to get people to pay attention to all the apartments they were going to build by DeSoto and Victory, and I just happened to knock on Shirley Blessing's door. In 2005, I ran against Dennis Zine and got 31% of the vote. In 2009, I ran against Dennis Zine and got 29% of the vote. In 2013, I ran for city controller. All 3 times I was endorsed by the National Organization for Women. all 3 times.
Thank you.
Okay, oh, I got one other thing,
Go right ahead.
You know what? And I don't know if everybody's going to like this, but I was involved in the Woodland Hills Homeowners Organization suing the city over the Westfield Village development. In fact, my name is on the, it's Woodland Hills Homeowners Organization and Jeff Bornstein versus the city of Los Angeles.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ray?
Yeah, well, I've been a small business owner for a long time. I've owned my home in Tarzana since 1980. I now serve for 20 years. I've been a small business commissioner for the Los Angeles County. I've been the chair and vice chair of that and made some big improvements in the number of contracts that have gone to small business. I'm strong advocates for small business. I'm a city planning commissioner. Before that, I've been a harbor commissioner. I've been a convention center commissioner. I've been an industrial development authority commissioner. I was a state motion picture commissioner, issuing permits around the state. I've been for 15, I owned the LA Cabaret Comedy Club, brought you laughter in the Valley for 15 years. And during that time, in the 15 years, I was a member of the Encino Chamber of Commerce, instrumental in creating Taste of Encino, provided all the entertainment for those shows that we first started out with. I worked with the Tarzana Chamber of Commerce on their entertainment at the Taste of Tarzana, the Sherman Oaks Street Fair.
Thank you.
I got entertainment for them. I did it for Brentwood, and I've been an activist my whole life.
Thank you very much.